Hi guys. So you might be wondering why we can't store all the information in one gigantic table instead of having multiple tables like these. The reason is breaking data into multiple tables enables us more efficient storage, easier manipulation, and greater scalability. In our example, we have these two tables here. We have the products table and we have this vendors table. The vendors table here contains all the vendor information, one table row per vendor. As you can see, we have this vendor here, and then we have this vendor here, then we have this dollhouse vendor here. So each row is for one vendor along with a unique identifier for each vendor. So as you can see, we have these unique identifiers here. This is called a primary key, as I explained in the last video. These are all primary keys. These are all unique identifiers to identify these vendors. The products table here contains all the information about the products and no vendor specific information other than the vendor ID here. So this column here, the vendor ID column here, is linking this products table to this vendors table here. This product tables contains all the information in regards to the product, product's price, and product's description, but it does not contain any vendor information. Why? Because vendor information is never repeated, and so time and space are never wasted. As you can see, we have different tables for different information, so there is no repetition. If the vendor information in this table changes here, you can just update a single record. For example, this Dollhouse Inc. becomes Pizza House Inc. So we can just edit this record and we don't need to change this information anywhere else. As data is not repeated, the data used is obviously consistent, making data reporting and manipulation much simpler. We have all these benefits, but these benefits come with a price. If data is stored in multiple tables, how can we retrieve that data with a single select statement? I mean, we have our data stored in products table, then we have our data stored in vendors table. How can we retrieve all this data with just single select statement? So for that purpose, we have a tool called joins. Simply put, a join is a mechanism used to associate tables within a select statement, and thus the name join, because there is an association. So we are joining two tables together. We are joining, in this example, we are joining the products table and we are joining the vendors table. Joins are one of the most powerful features of relational databases, which allows us to join tables on the fly with a SQL select statement. So now the question is, how do you create a join? To create a join is pretty simple. I'm going to go back to my script again. Just going to minimize this. And I'm gonna just show you one example how to join these two tables together. Select when name. Just bear with me. I'm gonna explain everything after this query. Product price from vendors table and products table, where vendors.when ID equals products dot when ID. What exactly is happening here? I'm gonna save this first. So we have the normal select statement in the first line. As you can see, we have the when name and we have these two columns as well. So these two columns here are coming from the products table. If you just scroll up again for the products table, you can see we have the product name, we have the product price, and it's coming from the products table. This when name column is actually coming from the vendors table. This column here. And we're gonna specify all the tables we need for the join. So we need two tables right now, and the name of those tables are vendors table and the products table. So we are specifying those two tables in the from statement. And the most important condition is the where condition for the join. So we're gonna have this filter condition that is vendors.when ID equals products.when ID. So vendors is the is the table name and this is the column name. So it means just give me this column from this table and give me this vendor ID column on the products table from the products table. If you don't specify this expanded form, this expanded form here, if you don't specify, if you just say where vendor ID equals vendor ID, that's not gonna work, because relational database no way can figure out which column you're talking about and from which table. So you need to specify the table name. So give me vendor ID column from the vendors table and give me the vendor ID column from the products table, because these are the table, these are the columns that we're gonna use for the matching, right? So that's it. I'm gonna save this. I think I already saved it, and I'm just gonna run this query again. Just gonna run this query, source join script.sql. Let's see what we get. So this is what we got. We are getting vendor name from the vendors table. We are getting product name and product price from the products table. So as you can see, we can, from one single select statement, we can actually join two tables together. We can associate these two tables together. This kind of join that we have seen is also called EQ join, because we are actually using a join based on the testing of equality between two tables, this equal sign. This EQ join is also known as an inner join sometimes. So this above query can also be written as like this. We will use a syntax called inner join. Select vendor name, product name, everything is the same for the select first line. Product price from vendors. Inner join, as I said, we're gonna use this new syntax now. Vendors dot vendor ID equals vendor ID. So this query here is exactly the same as this query here. So choice is yours. You can use whichever query you want to for achieving the same output. It's the same. It's going to give you the same result. We're using a new syntax here called inner join, because as I said, this EQ join is also known as an inner join. So this is another way of representing the same query. And you're also going to use a new operator called on. We used where before, and now we're going to use on. So it's pretty self-explanatory, this query. We have these column names here coming from different tables, and then we have this main table here. We are joining this table with the products table on these columns, column from vendors and the column from products. Let's run this. I'm going to save this file, and I'm just going to comment these guys out. How do you comment these guys out in SQL? You're going to comment these out using, I think this is using the slash star and star slash. What exactly is commenting? Commenting means this code here is not going to run. It's not going to run. Only this code here is going to run. Save it again and just source join script.sql. As you can see, we have the same result now. We have the same result as we got earlier. Everything is the same. So the choice is yours. So you can have this statement, or you can use this statement. That's it. So that's it, guys, for the basics of joins. And we saw the EQ join or the inner join. And that's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching.